Here?
Yeah, so this whole phase, the both of the two steps with the first three templates, basically support you in what we call enjoying your time in the exploration. So don't think that it's only fun to come up with new solutions. So go in that research or in that exploration mindset and try to find out something about your problem that nobody else have found. So what can you find that is new in understanding the problem, and in that new understanding very often there's also the new solution and the innovative idea. And that's where we're coming to. So we narrowed it down, we have a very clear, basically reframed problem, and now is the moment that we go all loose in terms of ideas. And ideas and brainstorming is something that everybody thinks they know very well, and still we see a lot of typical errors, and we want to try to give you a couple of tips to avoid that. So one of the first tip is don't go in very long ideation sessions. Take them short and make them intense and make them fun. So create a lot of ideas and a lot of diverse ideas within that broader problem space. So the saying goes, the best way to have a good idea is have many of them and throw away the bad ones later. So that's what we're going to try to do. Have as many ideas as possible in an intense, short session, have them diverse, and once we get there, we build on each other's ideas. So we try to build from an idea towards another ideas and combine ideas. What we see in innovation that is usually not one idea. It is one idea combined with two parts of two other ideas that make up that brilliant concept. So that's what you would like to do, and that's what the template invites you to do. So generate at least a couple of solutions that are selections from a much bigger set, hopefully, and then get some feedback to improve and build on them. What we would like you to avoid, and what we see very much, which drags your innovation into long, boring, and tense sessions, is to discuss every idea. You don't have to extensively discuss every detail of every idea. Just have a lot of them, make sure everybody understands the broad lines of the concept, and then build out of them, and the discussion will come a little bit later. Fred, do you want to go to the fourth phase?
Yeah, sure. So realize that, we're talking through this probably now in 5 or 8 minutes. These are phases. This is weeks of work in our profession. This is actually really hard work. This takes multiple in our work, afternoons, weekends, day-long sessions.
Sleepless nights in the worst case scenario.
Exactly. This you can imagine. So, I would also recommend, really find depth. Surprise yourself, surprise your teammates. So, a couple of really good ideas, and here you come to the stage where to create from maybe multiple ideas, combining them, synthesizing them towards several concepts. And a concept, in my understanding, is sort of a idea that has really matured, that is convincing, that is attractive, that does not have any really very big critical aspects in it anymore, because it's sort of what would make it unrealistic. So if in this phase you sort of stumble upon something that's hard, that is actually like the opening for a new ideation, session. You just really, again, start to, in a very creative way, hopefully manage to find new, fresh solutions to that. So combining all of these, this template, it sort of states, make it visual. So Okay, so that's sort of explaining this. My tip would be here, the green ones, tips. Interesting here is so switching between, let's say, your marketing mindset, sort of very optimistic, opportunistic, everything's possible, selling, really looking at it from the outside. How does it, create value for the people you're doing this assignment for? So marketing mindset, switching between that one and, let's say, a critical mindset. It's interesting to know for yourself whether you sort of as your default mindset have one of these, but a critical mindset would sort of think, but really does that work? Or this could be a bit expensive, or this might work now, but will it still be valuable in 2 months' time or a year? So being critical and thinking in solutions, sort of balance that. You really need both. Do you want to take the last one?
The last one is making it concrete. So making it as tangible as possible. So don't stay in abstract definitions, in abstract words that describe your concept. Make them as tangible as possible. If you're comfortable with any form of visualization, try to make it as visual and tangible as possible. Make a mock-up, make a prototype, use whatever you can to make it as realistic and real as possible. So we're not looking for fancy slide sets, we're looking for a deep understanding of what it exactly is and how it works.
So what's the value of making it concrete?
So you have this joke about two people talking to each other, and they say, "Hey, I have a new dog," and the other person says, "Yeah, what type of dog is it?" And he says, "Yeah, it's a big dog." And what color is it? It's a brown dog. And is it a fully brown dog, or does it have spots? And yeah, it has a little bit of spots. And is long hair or short hair? And then he said, "Yeah, it's a short-haired, brown, spotted, big dog." And then we take a picture out of their mind, and they're two totally different dogs. And that's what actually we'd want to try to avoid. So we want to try to avoid having words and descriptive language for your concept. We want to make it visible and tangible as possible, so that people understand instantly, basically, hopefully, what your idea and your solution is.
Yeah. So there's another advantage of making stuff concrete, and that's also that you're able to test it. You can show it to people, and they'll be able to respond. So both here, your first initial ideas or your concept is be really strong if you draw them, explain them, give them a title, give them a subtitle, and take them to your initial, let's say, stakeholder or people who would be using it, and get feedback from that. So one nice thing about feedback is you can learn from it and you can improve your idea. The other thing is, if you have nice quotes, it'll be cool material to use in your final presentation.
Yeah. So if you have a preference for either the marketing mindset or the critical mindset, you can use feedback of others to either help you sell through this positive feedback, or help get others to say, "Hey, I don't think this will work." So use these visualizations to test it with others and to improve both of these mindsets. Right, maybe a short summary of everything, so that then we can wrap up this video.
You're going to do that, right?
I'm going to do it, all right. So again, we have 4 phases represented by these templates. We start with understanding the broad context, then we go into a redefinition and hopefully broadening our problem space. The benefit of that is that we broaden the solution space when we go to ideas, and we make these ideas as tangible as possible, and we make them attractive with our marketing mindset, and we make them robust with our critical mindset. So I'm Jurgen, this is Fred. We hope to see some of you in the trainings, and especially we hope that this short video will help you in your challenge.
Okay, good luck. Have a lot of fun. Bye.
Dat ben ik benieuwd. Dat is echt